Hey everybody, welcome back to another week. It is the week of December 1st. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving break and that you're ready to go for the next 3 weeks. It's always high-paced, pretty exciting time as we get ready for winter break coming up here in just a few weeks. This week at the middle school, on Monday, we have a staff meeting after school. I'll talk about that in just a second. Tuesday night, we have our winter 7th and 8th grade band concert and jazz band concert. That'll take place over at the high school. And on Wednesday, we have a CISA Fishbowl on the calendar for Writers Workshop. Lots of other little things going on throughout the week, but those are the big ones. All right, on Wednesday of last week, I sent out an email to all staff about December 19th, which is the last day before winter break, and also about field trips in general. So very quickly, just to kind of summarize that again, on December 19th, what our current plan will be is to have an early release schedule like we've done for the PBIS acknowledgments and so on. Seems to be a pretty well-received structure for the day. And then for that last 2 hours, from 1:15 to 3:15, we will either split that so that there's team time for an hour and then a school-wide or 5-6 and then 7-8 wide activity, or the whole time can be for team time. But kind of related to that, we sent out some information regarding field trips. And with field trips, there's been a lot of questions about that, and we've finally kind of been able to come to some resolution with it. First of all, end of the year school field trips. The only grade level that we're going to do that big trip is 8th grade. That's in line with other middle schools around our area. We're not going to support those, the big water park field trips in grades 5, 6, and 7. We spend a ton of money asking parents to spend a lot of money on that, and then when they can't afford it, then comes out of the building budget, which has been adding up to anywhere between $4,000 and $6,000 over the last couple of years. So frankly, it just isn't affordable anymore. Academic field trips that directly relate to what you're doing in class, those are generally going to be okay, with kind of that general rule of thumb of if it's an experience that just can't happen or something similar can't happen at school, then we'd consider doing that on a field trip. Knowing that there's usually a cost involved with those too, we want to make sure that they're academically driven. And then last but not least, there's the fuzzy area field trips. So field trips that might be kind of fun to do, or field trips that are not necessarily tied directly to the curriculum, or it's a real far stretch to it. Those we're kind of leaning against not doing. Now, there's always room for conversation and discussion about those, but we definitely don't want to turn those into something that we're just doing and supporting, because again, the school ends up paying for any costs that are not covered by families and so on. And with academic time being at a premium, we want to make sure that we protect some of that time as much as possible. Any questions at all on that, let Bill, Dana, or myself know. We'd be happy to talk to you. All right, a few weeks ago, I talked a little bit about a pilot walkthrough that some of us in the district are doing. We finally have that set up. For that walkthrough, I want to be very, very clear. It is not related at all, 0%, whatever you want to call it. It is not related at all to Teachscape. This is just a simple walkthrough. If we see something nice, we also want to make sure that we're giving some feedback back to you, which we aren't always able to do consistently. So what we've done is we've got just kind of a quick survey using Google that if you see me in your classroom and I'm plugging some things into it, what'll end up happening is you're going to get a personalized email directly from that just says, hey, here are the things we saw. It's all positive stuff. So if you see me doing that and you get an email that says, hey, thanks for letting me be in your classroom today, yada, 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 here's what I saw. That's it. That's the walkthrough. So I just want to be really clear about that. Again, when you see those things come in, they are completely separate from any of the Teachscape evaluation stuff. This is just simple good practice, coming in, seeing what you're doing, and giving you that feedback back, letting you know that we noticed. So if you have questions, again, let me know. All right, staff meeting on Monday. We are primarily going to be doing all PBIS work that day. You saw an email from Bill Champeau that had a little bit of information for you. The PBIS team is going to be leading that, and I'm looking forward to getting some information from them. We are also going to be doing a little bit of celebrating in the very beginning of the meeting, and then I'm going to turn it over right away to PBIS. The one request that PBIS had was to please bring your mobile device. So bring your iPad with you so that you've got access to some things through that. All right, and last but not least this week, a couple reminders. First of all, as we approach the holiday season, it's really easy for us to want to put Christmas lights up all over the place and be festive with candles or the hot pads that burn the potpourri or whatever it's called. Please remember, no candles are allowed. The hot pads are also not allowed, and we can't have things plugged in, those kind of oil scents. Can't have those plugged into the walls either. So those are all considered fire hazards in a public school building, so please make sure that you're not doing that. Also, Christmas lights, make sure that those aren't all over the place. If they are plugged in temporarily for the holidays, do make sure they're plugged in directly to the wall, not through a bunch of extension cords, and make sure they get turned off at the end of the day. And last but not least, after the holiday season, if you don't mind taking those down. So again, just for safety hazards. And then another big reminder, remember, and this is always a challenge for us, but remember that when we have meetings or you're gathering information on a student, please try to remember to include the allied arts or elective teachers to get some feedback from them, or if there's a plan that you're trying at the team level and you want to make sure everybody's on board, please share that with the allied arts and elective teachers for kind of some good teamwork and collaboration. Oftentimes they are kind of left out of the equation, not intentionally, but it tends to happen, and I know they want to be in the loop as well. So just a friendly reminder, until we figure out a better system for that, just try to keep everybody in the loop. So that's it for the news this week. We'll see you in the hallways. Happy December.